What if I told you Darth Vader's rampage across the galaxy was fueled by love? The Dark Lord's crusade against the Republic hides a heartbreaking truth, a shattered man desperately trying to justify his fall. In this video, we're peeling back the layers of Vader's iconic black armor to reveal the broken Anakin Skywalker within. His unmatched power and consuming grief intertwined, transforming him into a complex figure of both strength and vulnerability. As we explore Vader's early years, we'll uncover the emotional turmoil that shaped his path and examine how it influenced his actions throughout the Star Wars saga. 2. The Fall of a Hero. Anakin Skywalker is in front of the Jedi Council, and his future is uncertain. The young Jedi Knight is torn between his duty to the Order and his love for Padmé, which he keeps to himself. Palpatine's enticing whispers of power play over and over in Anakin's head as he struggles with this inner conflict. In disguise as a Jedi, the Sith Lord plays on Anakin's fears and insecurities by making promises that are very different from what Master Yoda and the other Jedi say is wise. The fear of losing Padmé is more important to Anakin than anything else. He can't stop seeing her dying in childbirth just like he saw his mother die, and he can't stop trying to find a way to save her. Because he's so desperate, he looks through old Jedi texts and tries to find forbidden knowledge, which leads him further away from the Jedi path. Star Wars psychologists have looked at Anakin's mental state during this important time and found a number of things that make him particularly vulnerable psychologically. Palpatine can easily control him because he's easily hurt by losing his mother, fears being left alone, and has trouble with the Jedi Code's rules about emotional attachments. The galaxy is on the verge of chaos, and Anakin's terrible choice is getting closer and closer. He feels the weight of the decisions he's made, and each step he takes him further down a dark path. As Anakin thinks about the most important choice of his life, we can almost feel the tension in the air. Anakin makes his choice at a time that will change the history of the galaxy. He turns to the dark side because he thinks it's the only way to save Padmé. Now that Anakin Skywalker has been killed, Darth Vader has taken his place. It's a sad irony that Anakin loses everything that was important to him in his desperate attempt to avoid loss. The stage is set for Vader's war against the Republic as he walks for the first time in his famous black armor. Man who was once the Chosen One is now the most feared law enforcer in the Empire. He does this out of a misguided desire to keep things in order. Things will never be the same in the galaxy after Vader's cruel plan starts. 3. The broken man behind the mask. Vader's famous mask hides a scarred face and a broken spirit. That place hurts a lot, and it always makes me think of everything Anakin Skywalker lost when he turned evil. The suit that makes people scared all over the galaxy is both Vader's lifeline and his worst enemy. Vader's health is terrible after the terrible duel on Mustafar. His body is burned and broken, and he's barely alive. The medical droids work hard to keep him alive and cover him in the black armor that'll become his new look. Vader realizes how bad things really are as he takes his first hard breaths through his new respirator. The suit is what keeps him alive, but it hurts all the time. Every step he takes is hard, and every breath reminds him of the times he's failed. However, Vader knows he's stronger than ever as he bends his robot limbs and feels the dark side flowing through him. This battle of pain and power is what Vader's early life was all about. He's torn between his sadness over losing Padmé and his old life and the addictive power of the dark side. The suit strengthens his connection to the Force, which lets him turn his pain into destructive energy. Even though he is badly hurt, the suit controls his breathing, pumps artificial blood through his veins, and lets him move. It's also very heavy, hard to carry, and very sensitive to electrical discharges. It's impossible for Vader to eat, sleep, or feel the touch of another person. He's more like a machine now than a person. He is dark and evil. As Vader tries to make sense of his new life, a burning question comes to mind. How will this inner turmoil affect the things he does? Will Anakin Skywalker's kindness help to tamper Darth Vader's anger, or will the pain of his transformation make him even more angry? There's no doubt about the answer as Vader takes his first steps as the Emperor's enforcer. He turns all of his pain, regret, and hatred of himself into a strong determination that can't be stopped. Vader turns into a natural force that hunts down Jedi and crushes the Resistance with terrifying speed. The conflict inside him doesn't make him weaker. It makes him more dangerous than anyone thought possible. As Vader starts his campaign, the galaxy shakes. Coming out of the ashes of the Republic is a figure in black armor that the Jedi have never seen before. Just being around Vader is enough to break the will of even the strongest enemies. The scary truth sets in as word of his exploits spreads. The time of the Jedi is over, and the time of the Empire has begun. 4. Unstoppable Force Unleashed. Even though the Jedi are no longer around, their story is far from over. There are still pockets of resistance across the stars, and Vader's war is getting very hot. What happens when an unstoppable force meets the last strongholds of an order that is dying? The answer can be found in the path of broken sabers and broken spirits that Vader left behind. Vader's search for the last few Jedi is a planned, never-ending campaign that takes place all over the galaxy. He goes from system to system, following rumors and whispers. In his quest to kill the last members of the Order, he doesn't leave any stone unturned. Each fight shows how Vader's control over the dark side grows. His raw power comes from a never-ending source of anger and grief. One of Vader's most impressive displays of skill with the Force happens when he fights a group of Jedi who are hiding. As they prepare to make their last stand and light their lightsabers, Vader puts out his hand. Suddenly, an AT-AT walker nearby starts to fall apart like a tin can. The Jedi are shocked as Vader uses the Force to destroy the huge war machine, showing how powerful his telekinetic powers really are. However, Vader's power to scare people goes beyond physical conflict. During a holocommunication with Imperial officers, Vader can tell that an admiral light years away is being rude. He reaches out through the Force and chokes the man from far away in space without thinking twice. This scary display is a stark reminder that Vader's wrath can strike at any distance. As word of these encounters spreads, the remaining Jedi start to doubt their resolve. Some people choose to face Vader straight on because they believe in the power of the light side. Others try to get away, hoping to keep the Jedi teachings alive for future generations. For many, though, just hearing Vader's voice is enough to break their will completely. In one very scary event, a group of Jedi survivors think they've found a safe place on a faraway world, but when Vader's Star Destroyer goes into orbit, people start to freak out. A few Jedi give up before the Dark Lord even arrives on the planet because they can't face the scary presence they can feel coming. It shows how powerful Vader has become psychologically. His reputation alone can sometimes stop fights before they even start. The dark side takes over Vader more and more as his campaign of terror goes on. It gets stronger for him, but at what cost? The man who used to be Anakin Skywalker gets deeper and deeper into his anger and pain. Even though Vader is happy to be the Empire's most powerful enforcer, there's still a small spark of conflict inside him. There's a spark there that will wait for years, waiting for the right time to light the Chosen One's light again. 5. The Price of Power. Vader's lightsaber has tested the blood of many Jedi, but the real battle is going on inside him. It makes him less like the man he used to be every time he serves the Empire. However, Vader sticks to a flawed reasoning and thinks that what he's doing is necessary to bring order to a chaotic galaxy. Vader takes off his mask in the depths of his meditation chamber, giving himself a rare chance to be open and honest. The conflict inside him is as fierce as a lightsaber duel. Because he's struggling with the weight of what he's done, he justifies even his worst crimes as a means to an end. He sees the Empire as a source of stability and a chance to end the wars that have been going on in the galaxy for thousands of years. Vader's struggle with himself is made worse by his friendship with Emperor Palpatine. Palpatine is very good at taking advantage of Vader's weak spots in this never-ending battle for power and control. They do a risky dance where they test the limits of their friendship while keeping each other in check. As Vader thinks about his journey, he has a brief moment of doubt. Is there a different way? The spark of Anakin Skywalker shines a little brighter for a moment, but then reality hits again. The weight of his crimes, the power of the dark side, and the changes that can't be undone to his body all work together to put out that small flame of hope. Vader's mask locks back into place with a dull hiss. He pushes the doubts down and buries them deep under anger and determination. After his moment of weakness, Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith, returns to his job as the Empire's most powerful enforcer. As Vader walks out of his room, ready to punish the galaxy all over again, the stage is set for a redemption that won't happen for years. There will be a simmering conflict inside him that will never really go out. It will wait for the right time to come out and light up the Chosen One again. 6. Conclusion. The sad story of Darth Vader's rise from Jedi to Sith Lord is one of misguided redemption. His bad sense of duty and love drives him to fight the Republic, but it only makes him darker. Vader moves farther away from his old self, Anakin Skywalker, with each cruel act against the rebels. Even so, there is a hint of the man the Dark Lord used to be hidden behind his scary mask. Vader's character is shaped by this inner conflict, which makes the light and dark sides of the Force fight all the time inside him. This fight is what makes Vader such a complicated and interesting character in the Star Wars saga. Of course, Vader's story is meant to teach us about the risks of having too much power and how important it is to stick to our values. His fall from grace and eventual redemption show us that there is always hope for change and redemption, even when things look the worst.